In this video, I'm going to compare myself and Ryder D'arrigo, who is a Loretta Lynn's champion on 50s or 65s. Not really sure which one, but he is a very fast kid. He's a top 10 Loretta's kid on 85 Super Minis. And hopefully this year he's going to be a lot closer up to the front. Been working with him quite a bit, and he does one thing a lot better than me, and I've been starting to adapt this riding style that he has. I have been reluctant to embrace it over the years because I grew up in the 90s and the 2000s where they said, stick that inside foot out, get it tight to the bike, recently turn your toes in. But Ryder does corners very well by keeping his feet on the pegs. And I'm going to point out the downside to sticking your leg out. The way you need to think about it is your leg is essentially the same as throwing an anchor off a boat. Okay, so I'm a 205-pound male, and I'm throwing that leg out there, and it's not going to be, smooth and perfect every time. So I'm doing a lot of movement on the bike that's going to change the weight attitude of the bike as I go through the corner. And so in these corners, you'll see the mistake I'm making by putting my foot out and the mistake that Ryder is not making by not putting his foot out. And when I ride with Ryder, he puts his feet out in some corners and he keeps his feet on the pegs in some corners. And he's really good at adapting on when to use it and when not to use it. But he does do some corners better when he keeps his feet on the pegs. He just has total control of the bike. So I'm going to break down these couple videos and show how I am making a mistake. I'm not perfect. I've been at it for 30 years and, I still try to learn from this sport like I'm a 10-year-old kid. So, all right, let's watch some of the videos. All right, so this is the corner where I caught the mistake, and it got me on doing 30-minute motos with my feet on the pegs just to learn this technique. So when I come into the corner, I get off my rear brake, I stick my foot out, and then you can see about mid-corner, you see my foot coming separated from the bike. And I try really hard to keep my foot attached to the shroud and turn that toe in, but sometimes there's a little bit of bumps in these corners here, and it's a 90-degree corner. And you can see, all right, I throw my leg out, and I got it tight to the bike, and then right when I hit the bump right there, you can see how it kicks my leg out. Well, my leg falls to the inside, and so does my body. And then so now we're going to watch Ryder do it. Okay, so here's Ryder coming into the same corner. It's just a different angle. And you can see he keeps his feet on the pegs. Well, what he has a tight contact patch in between him and the bike. And you can see the next corner, he puts his foot out. So it's being able to pick and choose what corners to do this in. So now we're going to slow it down. He comes into the corner, same as me. He's standing, he's doing his braking. And when he sits, though, he doesn't throw that leg out. He keeps the feet on the pegs, and he stays on the balls of his feet, and he keeps a tight contact patch between him and the bike. And you can see right there, he kind of lifts it slightly off the foot peg a little bit, but that bike stays on the path it's supposed to stay on, and it doesn't dip to the inside on him. So that little dip I made, that's a 10th here, a 10th there, and if I'm doing that around the track, it could add up to seconds around the track. So this is one of those corners where keeping your feet on the pegs, and if you learn this skill, it is definitely faster. All right, here's another one. Ryder comes through the corner, and right there I would throw my leg out, and I would make mistakes every time, and then, little show off, he's wheeling and going down the straightaway, but comes in. Right there is where I would typically throw my leg out, and then I would dip to the inside every time. And you can see Ryder's body squared up, and he comes to that rut, and he's actually able to wheelie out of the corner because he's hitting the corner so well with his feet on the pegs. Okay, so I'll be the first to admit that I haven't been a big proponent of this technique for a long time, but all it takes is somebody like Ryder to convince me that it's actually faster in certain areas of the track. The one problem that I do see is people take this literally. They will ride the entire track with their feet on the pegs. And there is still corners where you watch a supercross. Half the corners are feet on the pegs, half the corners are feet, 1 foot off the peg. Some corners require you to put that foot out. But what you can do, and what I've been doing, is doing 20 to 30-minute motos where I just keep my foot on the peg the whole entire time. Yesterday I rode, there was one corner out of 10, 11, 12 corners that I put my foot out. I just could not do it for the life of me, and it was really slippery and had some loose terrain on the top. But go out and practice this technique. What you'll find is you are over-analyzing how to set up for a corner. And when you keep your feet on the pegs, you actually just keep the momentum going, because in our mind, we try to kind of process everything step by step. Do our braking, sit on the tank, put the leg out. And some corners don't require that. Just get around the track. Don't think of corners as corners. Just try to get around the track as fast as possible. And when you keep your feet on the pegs, you're thinking about that. You're actually not breaking corners down so much into sections. You're just trying to get around the track as quick as possible. And is this a technique I would say a beginner should try to practice? Probably not. I would say, put your leg out, do it the old school way, learn how to ride the bike correct first. But once you start getting faster and you have good balance on the bike, I think this is a great technique to increase your speed and increase your control of the bike around the track. Try it, see how it works. Don't take it as the rule. Take it as a thing you can use sometimes, maybe 75% of the time, maybe 25% of the time. But it is a very good technique to carry speed through corners, have a lot more control, have a lot more balance. And think of it this way as well. Every time you throw your leg out, there is a hesitation on the throttle. Every time you go to put your leg back on, there's a hesitation of the throttle. And that's why a lot of people say quick feet. The quicker your feet are and the quicker that bike gets back to the quicker that foot gets back to the bike, the more control you have over the bike, the quicker you can get it on and go down the straightaways, get the throttle on. So, if you watch, I was watching Daytona Supercross last night, and watch the slower guys, not saying they're slow, those guys are very fast that are in the last chance qualifiers. Watch how much longer they keep their leg out than, say, a Cooper Webb or a Ken Roczen. Those guys, they have fast feet. So what this is going to teach you is fast feet as well. You're going to put it out only if you need it, and you're not just going to let it dangle out there for the whole entire corner and lose speed, because when you're moving body parts, you're not on the throttle as hard as you possibly can be. Give this a shot. Practice feet on the pegs. I'm going to do some more videos about feet on the pegs and try to get a little more in depth. I'm just using some old camera footage that I had, but I wanted to get this out because I think it's really important, and I think it's a great skill for everyone to learn.